We got a bunch of people over at the website working, grinding, breaking things down. Let's get the rest of the picks from our staff. Gene Williams, Irish O'Fell, Jeff Cameron, and Matt Lasser.
It's November, and the Seminoles are 8-0. That has a really nice ring to it. They will look to remain undefeated at Pitt this weekend. Pitt has been awful, frankly. We thought they might be pretty good to start the season. They're 2-6. They just got blown out by Notre Dame 58-7. So looks like Florida State should roll in this one. It gives you a little concern that Pitt rose to the occasion in one game, upsetting Louisville. You wonder which Pitt team will show up. But look, I think Florida State totally outmatches Pitt in this game. I think this team is down a little bit. The concern is for me that Miami's next week. And you just played kind of an emotional game against Wake. I know Wake wasn't that good, but given recent history, you understand why the team was up and played well. I really think they're going to have a letdown in this game. Sure, they're going to win. I think it's going to be sloppy. I think people are going to be a little disappointed in this thing. But if Mike Norvell is able to get this team to go out and cover the spread, hats off to him and hats off to this team for being mentally strong. I'm going to be a little conservative on this one. I'm going to go Florida State 27, Pitt 17. I know that's not going to make people happy, but again, it's a win. You win by 10 points. You move on. You're 9-0. You take on Miami next week, which is probably going to be the biggest game of the season.
I don't think Pitt's as bad as they've been playing lately. Certainly not as bad as they looked last week against Notre Dame. But I also don't think it really matters. I think Florida State's a much better football team. Pitt's not very good offensively. They're not very good defensively. The game is at Pittsburgh. But I like Florida State to win convincingly. I think it'll be about 38-13. I'll take the Noles winning by 25 points again for the second week in a row and improving to 9-0 in the season.
It is time to say, God, I feel like I'm doing the same score a lot. But these totals have been pretty similar, and I kind of feel like there's a range that Florida State's just always going to hit. I'm always going to go over 30 for Florida State right now. This Pitt team has struggled at quarterback. Give me 38, Florida State 38, Pitt 14. Let's just keep the ass kickings coming.
Like I said before, I think Florida State has a lot of advantages here when it comes to all the matchups there are. I feel like it's going to be a good day for Jaheim Bell. Maybe it's finally Destin Hill's day to shine. But I do think Florida State will win here. I'll go 42-14.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all for sitting here watching this. Appreciate it. It is the Warchant Report powered by Cummins. Shop.cummins.com is the website. Tailgate, Tailg, numeral 8. That's the promo code. Save 10% off numerous items over on the website, including portable power stations, portable generators, RV generators, and as we said earlier, the Onan RV generator maintenance kits, which have the Onamax oil, filters, spark plugs, everything you need to keep that thing humming and running. So if you don't have shore power and you're at the game, you got your TV, your AC, everything powered on and ready to go. Cummins, a power leader, shop.cummins.com. All right, 3:30, Pitt, Florida State, number 4, Florida State. The world's going to be watching because everybody's jockeying for position in this playoff poll, Tom, and everyone's going to want to see the upset. I don't know if any of us see the upset, but how do you see the game playing out on Saturday? I think Rutgers might upset Ohio State, but how do you see Saturday in Acrisure Stadium? Acrisure? I can't even pronounce the thing. I'll be there. I'll figure it out by then, though. But what do you see happening on Saturday, Tom?
Well, at Heinz Field, the place where Bane, I believe, Gotham City destroyed people, including that poor kid who sung the national anthem beautifully.
But Heinz Ward survived.
He
got
did.
that kick return for all the fantasy people that had Heinz Ward on their team.
What a big moment for Heinz Ward in his Hollywood career. I think we all know how this game's going to go based upon us talking about the Dark Knight Rises. But I think Florida State's offense comes to play early in this game. They're really hitting a different rhythm. I think this is starting to – it was already a really, really good football team. I'm starting to see that machine status out of what Florida State does. So I think today Saturday's game is going to be much like the others in terms of score. It might not be as interesting as some of the past 4 or 5 because Pitt's going to lay down. It's 41-7, Florida State. 41-7 is your final.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little closer than that. I foresee Florida State having a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter, and then Fitzgerald having to make a kick to extend the lead to put it out of reach for sure. I do think Pitt will make a play or two. They are at home, and quite frankly, I know they're supposed to be above this, but we all know what's ahead next week for this football team. And you're playing a team that's 2-6 that just lost by 51 points. It would be human nature to maybe not come out completely focused. But I do think the offense is too good. I think Pitt's offense is not good enough, clearly not close. So I'm going to say 34-17. Noles don't cover, but it's a comfortable game that Fitzgerald finally puts out of reach with a field goal in the fourth quarter.
So a team that's going to quit is still going to cover.
I didn't say they were going to quit. I said I wanted to see if they're going to quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It almost feels silly to not predict that this team is going to score 40 points every week now. But I'm not going to predict that. I don't think they're going to cover either. I think it's going to be a little bit touch and go, much like you said, Corey. I don't think they're going to quit. I think they're actually going to kind of rally around them. So what are we at? 21.5 right now? 35. Did you say 35-17 or 34-17?
I said 34-17. Are you going to Prices Right me?
38-20.
Oh, okay. The
There we
Duke
go.
score. I got you. Fair.
Got a little exotic. 38-20.